فخامة رئيس
Hello,
الجمهورية
Your Excellency, Madam President. First of all, thank you for today's interview. It is very important for me to meet you. I'm a Kuwaiti journalist, Mohammed Dahafer Al-Arada. It will be very interesting for the Kuwaiti business sector to receive information about Georgia's business investment potential from you, Madam President, which will help deepen business relations between Kuwait and Georgia and strengthen economic relations between the countries. Hello, I'm ready to give you answers on your questions.
First question, how do you see and evaluate the business environment in Georgia, and what will be your message to foreign visitors who plan to come and invest in Georgia?
The first thing I would say is that despite the pandemic, and despite the fact that the pandemic has hit Georgia strongly because it was and it is a touristic country, and as all touristic countries, it has suffered, especially last year and the beginning of this year. But despite that, we have had since the last few months a very steep recovery, and we're going to finish this year with quite good percentages of growth, 2 digits probably. It's up to now it's 12% for the past months of 2021, and hopefully it will be 2 digits for the whole year. So that is, I think, a very important factor in this today's world. It's also very important that the tourism trade has recovered since the beginning of the summer. We have reopened the country. That doesn't mean that the pandemic is finished, but that means that we are living with it, which is probably the fate of most countries. And so Georgia is returning to what was its main attractions for investors, and that is the easiness of doing business in Georgia. We have been ranking among the 10 countries in which it's the easiest to do business, to open a business, very fast, very little bureaucratic difficulties, and that I think is something that is very attractive. And also the fact that here you have potential for different fields in which investments are open. Hydroelectricity, hydropower is in the energy field, something that where we have many openings. We have the whole, of course, tourism sector and hospitality. We have the balneotherapy sector, which is, I think, something very interesting to the countries from the Gulf. So there are different opportunities, and of course, wine, waters, which is something that is also very interesting for potential investors from your country.
In your point of view, how beneficial will be economic cooperation with the Gulf countries and the implementation of the investment projects for both Georgia and Gulf countries?
I think that this country here is very open to foreign investment, but it's also a country that allows for foreign investors to benefit from the multiple agreements that Georgia has with outside world, free trade agreements. So from Georgia one can enter the European market as well as the Chinese market, the CIS countries, that means Central Asia in all this sphere. So we are really located at a place which is the juncture between Europe and Asia. And we have openings on both Europe and Asia. I think that's a quite unique geographical advantage for countries of the Gulf that are close to Georgia and can enjoy this facility.
As you know, there is no embassy of Kuwait in Georgia. In your opinion, how important is it to have an official Kuwaiti diplomatic mission in Georgia?
Well, to develop economic relations or political relations between two countries, of course, having an embassy is something that is extremely important. I would say that there are two important things. One is to have airlines, direct airlines, and we have with the different Gulf countries, we have regular direct airlines, and that is very important. And that has been the one factor that has favored the tourism between our countries. But of course, the embassy is something different because it gives direct access, direct information to the potential investors on what are the directions that would be the most interesting. And it also allows to establish contacts between businesses. Then a second step can be the forums and business-to-business contacts. But an embassy is the link that makes all of that much easier. So I wish that your country establishes this embassy very soon, and I think that this is in the plans. So we are waiting that with a lot of expectations.
Last question. As far as I know, in December of this year, the Business Chamber of Asian and Gulf countries plans to hold a business forum in Georgia, but it depends on the epidemic situation. The business forum will be attended by large investment funds and companies. How often do you think holding such business forums will help and support the implementation of the large-scale investment projects in Georgia?
Well, I think it's, as I said, the embassy is also one that could help to organize those forums. But if it's directly organized, it's also very positive. I hope that the pandemic will not be an obstacle to that. It is not today an obstacle to the country is completely open, so I think that this is feasible. And I think that these forums allow for these direct contacts that are extremely important, and they also allow for the potential investors to come in the country, visit the country, and discover by themselves what could be the different regions of attraction for their investments and the different economic fields.
Madam President, thank you again for this meeting. I am very pleased with the received information. This information will be provided to the public through various media outlets. These positive messages will make the business sector more active, which will lead to a closer rapprochement between the countries. I hope the epidemic situation will not prevent the Business Chamber of Asian and Gulf countries from holding a business forum. I will visit your country again and see you at the mentioned business forum. I'm also happy for the interview. I hope that the forum will be held as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.